Hello, I'm Dragos, and in this video we're going to take a look at two Portainer alternatives that can help you manage your Docker applications easily. Both are open source and can be easily deployed on your Docker VPS server and help you monitor your Docker application in there. The name are Arcane and Dockhand. Both are open source, and I've just installed them to use them with my AI agent to help me monitor the Docker application. And first we're going to take a look at their website. So basically this is Arcane. This is the first one, and yeah, this is their repository. This is a project that it's written in Go. It has Svelte as a front end, and it has a nice interface. It has 4,500 stars. It is nice. We're going to see the UI. And the second one, it's called Dockhand. This is more newer. It has only a couple of releases. It has more than 2,000 stars. And yeah, both of these are free and they can be installed on your own VPS server or in your home lab and help you with your Docker application monitoring as a Portainer alternative. And in here I've created a detailed article with some of the things that are different, so you can understand which one is better for you. But of course you can install them both, like this I am having it right now. And we're gonna start with the license. Arcane, it's an BSD3 one, and Dockhand is the BSL. Basically you can only install this on your home lab. It's for your hobby projects, and it will move to Apache in 2029. So in case you have like restriction on this, you need to take into consideration this and use Arcane in case you are using this for your business. The backend, it's written in Go for the Arcane, Svelte and Ban. Front end, it's similar, it's using Svelte kit for both. In here you have the stars. In here you have the releases. Arcane, it's more established. It is from 2022. It has like active contributors, and yeah, in here you see the pricing. Arcane, it's free always. The Dockhand, because of the license type, it has a different structure. It's only free for your home lab. In case you have a business, you need to pay. It has GTOPS. And for instance, for the vulnerability scanner, Dockhand has one vulnerability scanner that scans the images to not have security problems in there. It can be integrated with SSO, both of them. Arcane has a CLI tool. And yeah, I mean, these are the most notable differences, and we're going to see how easy it is to deploy them both, and then we're going to check the interfaces for both. Not in this picture, but let's move to the deployment thing. So basically for Arcane, you are just deploying it like this. You are pulling the image, you are setting up the ports, you are putting the Docker socket in here. It has some, basically this one you can tell it to use your existing project with Docker Compose. We're going to see that. And in the environment, you have the app URL, user ID, and you have some encryption key and JWT secrets, and that's about it. It's quite easy to set up. Arcane. Dockhand, it's the same. Basically you're just pulling the image, you have the T1000 port, again you're using the socket, you have where the data is stored, and you have the environment with the secret key for this, and that's about it. I mean, to have this deployed, you have it just like that. And right now we're going to go and check the UI for both. Let's see. So this is the UI for Arcane. So in here you see this is their dashboard. It is clean, it's looking nice. And in here you can see that this is showing up my containers. Let's see the initial dashboard. So basically this is the initial dashboard. You have the CPU usage, memory usage, disk usage that will be shown in here. You have the name with the Docker version that it is, Ubuntu version in here. You can have more details in here if you want about the system. Again, the interface, it's nice and easy to use. In here you have the container, you have the images, you have the options to view all. We're going to see that. In projects, if you are going to set this, you have like the Docker Compose thing, and if you create a project, you can go in here and you can just the Docker Compose file with environment variables, and in here you can easily manage your Docker Compose application. For instance, I already have something like this in here. If we're going to open, for instance, Caddy, you're gonna see that I have the Docker Compose file in here that can be easily edit and change, and you can restart, deploy it, pull the latest image, refresh, or you can even destroy it. So yeah, I mean, this is something that Dockerhand doesn't have, this Docker Compose things. And again, in here for the project, you have the options to edit, restart, pull, and redeploy and destroy it. In the environment, basically, you can link this with different Docker VPS servers. Right now I have it set up for the local one, and in here you see that, yeah, you can add the environments in here easily. You just install the agent with the API key that you've created, and you can add an environment. This video is just to show you some of the things that this is having. It will not provide you the details. In customization, you have template, registries, variables that you can send, Git repos that you can put in here, Git sync to sync it with your repo. Okay, and if we're going to move to the container part, in here you will see that you have the details about the containers. You see the running containers, you are seeing the CPU, memory usage, you have the status. In case a new thing it is popping up, you will have in here the options to update the container if you want with the latest image. You have the ports. In here you have the options to inspect, restart, stop. If you are going to click in Uptime Kuma in here to see the details about this, you have more details. You have some metrics in here with the details, again, memory usage, and yeah, things like that. You have the logs for this. Okay, you have the shell, so you can access the container shell in here. You have the configuration in here, networks, storage with the data, and yeah, I mean, this is the container part. In the images, again, you have the images in here. You see that you have some updates. Again, you can go and inspect, pull, or remove the image. In the network side, again, you have the networks that you've configured in there with the driver status. I'm not using in here. You have the event log in here to set this up. So in here you have the latest login details. You have the image, what was created, what was checked, and so on. And in the settings part, you have the settings for this. You can change the API key, so you can create some API keys in here to link it with other environments. You have the appearances to change in here the details, the accent colors. You can enable the light and dark modes. In here you have some other mobile things that you can set. You can set notifications for this. You have email, generic, you have the Gotify, Antify, Slack, Telegram, Discord, and so on. You can enable notification. In the security, in here you have the authentication, site, timeout, users. You can add users. In here I have only the admin users. And yeah, I mean, basically this is Arcane. This is what it is having. And if we're going to check Dockerhand, in here you're gonna see that the UI is different. This is the main dashboard in here, and again in here you can add environments if you want. Like this, I've added the local environment first, so to pull the details, let's go. And in here in the environment part, in case you have multiple things added, you will have the details. Again in here you will have the Linux version, Docker version, details about the server, for how much time it's up, and yeah, in here you have the details for the containers, again with this view. In case you have multiple environments, you will see them in here. And if you're going to check the containers, in here you're gonna see the container details. So like this, it's showing. Again, you have the disk IO, memory, CPU. I think you have more details in here. In here you have some action. You can stop, pause, refresh, inspect, I think, or view details about this. To view more details, again, logs, layout, processes, network, in here, mounts, files. The difference of this, Dockerhand has a nice file manager, and in here you see that you can directly view the files inside the container. This is something that Arcane doesn't have. Environment, in here to see the detail, label, security, resources for this, health of this. And yeah, I mean, this is these are the details about this. You can check for updates again to see if something new has been released, and in here you have the options to edit this if you want, like this. You can change the details with a nice UI. Files or logs, these are for the logs, these are the files to see the logs in here. So you have this nice panel in here that provide you details about the logs. So the UI is very nice for Dockhand from my point of view. In here you have the shell access, bash, user that you can check. And if you connect, it will open like this, and you can go and type commands in here. So yeah, the UI, it's nice, and it is more richer than the other. Here you have the options to prune, again to check for updates. You can create a container in here easily with the details. If we're going to check, for instance, click the details in here, you are going to see the details about this container, the one that we've seen previously. So yeah, nice interface with a lot of details in here. In here again you have the logs about the containers, shell, and in here is the shell access for the container. You are just choosing the container you want, and you have the shell in there with the bash or the shell options that is configured. User again in here, simple. In here you have the stacks for this. Again, you'll have some details about the stacks, and you can view logs and view things like that. Again, in here you'll have the images in here, and if you are clicking, you are gonna see the details about the images. You can run it, pull and prune the unused one, and these things, volumes, again, volume network, again, the network that are configured with IPs and things like that. This is making things very easily to manage. Registry, in case you have the registry activity in here. Again, this is like an audit log, like we're seeing in Arcane. Schedules, in here you have the schedule that you can create. You have like daily cleanups that will run, and you can add or edit these schedules in here. In here you have the options to see that it was successful, to stop it, start it. In here you see the details about this. And yeah, I mean, that's the schedule things. Settings, again, in here you have the settings to configure the UI and the time that is pulling the logs and some details. In here you have the environments, again, with the connection, registry, JIT, config, notification. In here you again have notifications that you can enable this. You can add a notification channel, again SMTP and other things with webhooks that can be configured. Authentication, in here I've added a user in here and enabled authentication, but to have roles and things like that you need the full commercial license for this. It has integration with SSO. You see in here that some of the things are with Pro, like roles and LDAP and things like that. License and about. Yeah, and here you have the user with the details. You can change the theme, you can change the font, terminal font, and yeah, some basic things like change the password, enable multi-factor authentication if you want for this. And yeah, I mean, both of them are offering good UIs, and they are pretty snappy. And the fact that these are open source and it can easily help you manage your Docker containers, it's a very good plus. Again, it depends on your preferences. Right now I'm testing them both to see how they are doing. This is like a hobby project where I have my AI deploy various things in here, and I want to have like a nice UI for the Docker application that are set up by my AI. And yeah, right now these are the two Portainer alternatives that you can go and set up and test them easily. You just go and put the Docker Compose file, and you are just hitting the Docker Compose up -d to set this thing up. If you want to set a subdomain for this, you can. I put it a subdomain for mine. You're just pointing them to the server with the subdomain, and choose your reverse proxy that you have in there, Nginx, Caddy, or Traffic, or whatever you may want. In case you want to have more details on them and see more advanced things on them, just let a comment down below and I can do that. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.